So a question I got recently was from a digital analyst, and he was asking, should he learn another tool like Python or SQL? Because historically, digital analysts haven't really need to use SQL or Python. They've been able to log into Adobe Analytics or Google Analytics and run all their analysis that they needed. And sometimes they would export data into Excel and create reports or dashboards. Now, my advice is I would definitely recommend that you learn SQL at a minimum and Python if you can. And the reason for that is a lot of the new questions that businesses want answered, sometimes you find is not so easy to answer within Adobe Analytics or Google Analytics. And especially now that Google Analytics has allowed you to export data into BigQuery, if you know how to use SQL or SQL, then you're able to then query that data in BigQuery and get the answers that you want. Like I said, historically, digital analysts have never really had to answer those questions outside of the tools that they use. But what you're finding now more and more is that the question that the business is asking is more holistic. It's not just to do with the website. It's more to do with a broader business question. Okay, so they may ask you things like, how are sales being impacted by people, engagement with our website? Or they might ask that, how can we generate more leads by making the website a more immersive experience? So therefore, you need to take data from different sources and analyze it. So like I said, with Google allowing them you to export data into BigQuery means that if you know SQL, you can query BigQuery and answer some of those questions. You can also import data into BigQuery and combine it with the GA data to get your answers. Same with Adobe Analytics. It has a data warehouse function. It always has. You can always export data. Sometimes that data may be too big for Excel, so therefore knowing Python would be great. Or you could, if you know how to upload data into a database, you can then use SQL to query that data. So going back to the question of should a digital analyst learn another tool apart from the analytics tools like GA4 or Adobe Analytics, my recommendation and my advice would be definitely either learn SQL if you can and or Python.